Yeah, I really should rethink the title of this series because I've called it Sunday League Struggles, but we haven't lost yet. I mean, if I was to call it Sunday League Success, then, I mean, it's just up there with we're going to walk this league, aren't we? And we both know how that ended up last time. Well, welcome back to another episode of Sunday League Struggles, and we're now at episode 6. So this week, we were in the second round of the Surrey Cup, and we were away from home. Now, we won in the first round 2-0. But I didn't get to record the game because obviously all this stuff was happening. So I decided not to, just to let, the steam blow away for a week. I have no idea where I was going with those words. But yeah, we were away from home this week against a team in the 3rd division in another league somewhere. And we were playing in Wandsworth, which isn't in Surrey. I mean, why were we playing in Wandsworth? And it's the Surrey Cup? I don't know. I literally, I don't know. I mean, that's, that's cup competitions for you. So we were playing right next to the River Thames as well. I mean, if someone booted the ball out or did a Route 1 and it just went wayward, someone's going to have to go into the river. Well, probably not, but you know what I mean. Yeah, the team we were playing in gold and we were playing in sky blue, and I'm definitely going to have to upgrade the equipment soon because it's starting to look worse and worse every week. Yeah, I mean, the pitch wasn't in the best of conditions. I mean, the whole the left or right wing, depending which way you were kicking, was pretty much infested with leaves. And we also had people walking past up and down, and I mean, they were probably looking at me thinking, is that Proudie? Someday they will. So it was a scrappy game for the first 15 minutes, and they actually got a free kick in a pretty dangerous position, but they didn't really make the most of it. Also, I can add my manager to the list of people who could take a goal kick better than me. Although I did take a decent kick later on into the game, and well, it was only aided by the winds and the fact we were playing downhill. So it wasn't until the 30th minute of the game where we really got our first chance, and Sean managed to find Lee with a fantastic ball over the top, and Lee took it down in one touch and then volleyed it over the keeper. I mean, there's a goal which is similar to it. So I think Torres did it okay, but I think Lee did it even better than that. I mean, who do you think's better? Just put it in the comments below. Although I will delete any that say Torres. We then got another chance, and their keeper managed to catch the ball, but unfortunately he didn't get the greatest of kicks on it, and it fell to Tyrone, and we managed to fashion a chance into the box, and across into the box found Jules, but unfortunately headed it wide. And we were starting to pile on a bit of pressure at this point. But then they did get a chance, and one of their strikers managed to find a bit of space, and he hit a pretty decent shot at me, but I mean, it went straight at me, even though someone after the game said that was a really good save. It was straight at me. We did manage to make it 2-0 soon after, and Mike found a great ball into the box to find Lee, who managed to get his head onto the ball before the keeper got there to make it 2-0. And at that point, we were starting to feel a bit more comfortable about the game. We thought, okay, we can go on here and control the tempo because this team weren't really offering anything. Well, the second half said a different story. But that did bring it to half-time, and we were leading 2-0 in the cup game. And it was vitally important that we were taking a 2-0 lead because after last week where we were holding a 1-0 lead for quite a while and then conceded, a 2-0 lead is obviously a bit more of a safety net. And hopefully we could hold on to it. I mean, there's a lot of things that epitomise Sunday League football. I mean, you've got poor pitches where they're just muddy and they're right up to your knee. You've got poor kits, where they're 5 sizes too big for you. You've got to play with mitre footballs where if you get that on the thigh, I mean, that's a 12-month injury right there. But for the first ever time, we actually had an invasion on the pitch, and it was by a dog, which came onto the pitch and actually stopped kickoff. And then the dog went off the pitch, then came back onto the pitch and did a nice little package onto the pitch for us. I mean, thankfully, it wasn't on my wing, it was on Sean's wing, so, I mean, he had to deal with that. But I think for the first ever time, we actually saw Wayne Rooney on a Sunday League pitch. It's a bit harsh. So, yeah, about 5 minutes later, we actually did manage to take kickoff, and the game continually was a bit scrappy. I mean, the wind was becoming a problem, and there was very few chances still in the game. And then, obviously, of all the highs of the first half of taking some pretty decent goal kicks, I then took a shit one and it went downhill from there. But as I said, the game was continually scrappy, and I mean, we were about 15 minutes into the second half and there wasn't really a chance of note. So the problem with the fact that there wasn't many chances was that the pitch was quite narrow, so there wasn't really much chance for the wide players to actually make an impact. And that obviously made the game quite compact. And then obviously it was very hard to actually make any chances. I did actually make a save as well in the half, and one of the left mids managed to get a shot away. I did spill it, but I mean, I spilled it for time wasting effect. But yeah, continually, it just wasn't really anything. And other than the Tyrone run, where he flicked it over 2 defenders, there wasn't really any highlights for the second half. We then got a corner which flashed across the goal mouth, and unfortunately no one got on the end of it. And then Bradley went to put a cross in to get it across the box, and the defender pretty much got it off the line, and no one was really there to put it into the net. Yeah, so the camera died after 40 minutes, which is a problem. But yeah, we ended up getting a penalty. But obviously I can't show you the penalty, so I'm going to have to use state-of-the-art technology to kind of show you how we won it and then if we scored it or not. So Julian is the blue counter, and obviously the defender is the goal counter. Now, the goal counter was moving, but I can't move both of them, so we're just going to have to move Julian and pretend that the player didn't really move. So Julian ran down the wing inside the box, then turned, Rabona'd it into the defender, it hit the defender, and then he fell over and won the penalty. I mean, it's pretty much what happened. And as you can see from the second diagram, this is Lee taking the penalty, and this was for his hat-trick, and he ended up putting it left of the keeper who saved it. So we ended up only winning 2-0. I mean, that is a world-class analysis. I mean, Sky Sports, you know, you want to give me a call someday? Yeah, so after editing this video last night, I realised that I left quite a few bits out, which I feel like I should share. So in the first half, I was actually told this, and I didn't actually see it because obviously I was focusing on the game. But the referee was on his phone midway through the match. I mean, has anyone ever seen that in a Sunday League game before? I mean, I don't know if he was midway through a bank heist or something like that, but bloody hell, we got a game on here. So, as I was saying in the video, the second half wasn't that interesting. I mean, not really much was going on, and I think it showed because a woman started walking her dog across the pitch until one of my teammates, who was a substitute, pointed out to her that there is a football match going on. And I've never seen movement that quickly since Portsmouth went from Premier League to League 2. Yeah, I've also realised that I actually didn't record an outro, so I wanted to thank everyone for 3,000 subscribers. I mean, it's been a great journey so far on this channel. We've seen the highs and lows of Burnley. I think that's actually the most consistent series I've had on this channel. But once again, thank you for the amount of support you've been giving this series as well. If we aim for 75 likes this episode, it'll be great. You know, into the next round of the Cup. And we're at home next week, I believe. So hopefully the quality will be slightly better. I mean, it's never going to be perfect, but it will be slightly better. Now, if my goal kicks could improve as well.